Today we're going to talk about what it's like to raise a family in San Diego. And it's going to start right now. Well, welcome back to our channel. As I mentioned, we are going to talk about what it's like to raise a family in San Diego. We have both done that, at least somewhat well so far up to this point. So we have a little experience with this, and we're going to kind of tell you about what neighborhoods are great for it, what you can do with your kids here, and what it's just like to raise a family here in San Diego. We've probably mentioned a few times, it's not the cheapest city in the world, but there's just lots of things to do here with kids. There's like lots of entertainment venues. We have Legoland, we have SeaWorld, the zoo, free things too as well, just like going about walk around Balboa Park. The beaches are free here, obviously, in San Diego.
Yep, and you can be outside all year long.
Right. That's kind of
the weather is so great, so it kind of makes getting outside with your kids and doing all of these activities pretty easy to plan. You never have to check the weather, really. I mean, rarely. Right. Not as much as in some other cities. So yeah, easy to get out, go to those places, go to your Legoland. But that great weather leads me to one of the next super things about having kids here in San Diego is all of the sports teams, outdoor recreation stuff that you can sign your kids up for. Some of those do cost some money, some of them are free depending on who you go through, but your kids can play sports year-round. So if you have an active kid, an athletic kid, or just a kid who likes to be outside running around, there are so many different athletics to choose from here. Yeah,
and if you just want to get your kids really tired so they go to bed at night, there's plenty of things to sign them up for, and they're relatively either low cost, around 75, 85 bucks for a whole season league. So it's pretty affordable, most of the rec leagues here. Obviously this is kind of an obvious one too, but just like we have such easy access to the beaches here in San Diego.
Right. You
can be in school till, school gets out around 2, 3 o'clock. You go right up by 3:30, you could be at the beach. So it's just a very good quality of life here in San Diego. That you can go almost any time of year, go to the beach and enjoy.
We really do. If you didn't know that, you can go to the beach
every single day.
Every single day. We go on Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Day. Yeah. It's still nice. Even if the days are shorter, it's still beautiful out.
But it's a good idea to invest in a wetsuit for your kids here in San Diego, because I mean the water does get pretty cold. At least I consider it cold, around 60s or so, low 60s for the most part. If you're not used to that, definitely invest in a wetsuit for your kids, because they will thank you for it later.
Another thing about raising your family here, or raising your kids or your kid here, is there are lots of really friendly neighbors. There are friendly neighborhoods in all parts of San Diego. Lots of community events, community run events, block parties,
movie nights in the park,
holiday parties. The houses are closer together in a lot of parts here. Land is at a premium here in Southern California, so the homes are built closer together, which means you feel a little closer to your neighbors.
That might be good or bad sometimes, depending on your neighbor, but for the most part, I think you do get to know your neighbors a little bit more since you are closer together. So.
I agree, and that's a great thing for your kids. That's a great thing to have that sense of community and have nice neighbors that you see and can wave to.
Yeah, my son and her son are like best friends. They they play video games together, they ride bikes together, and we live like a minute away from each other. So sometimes too close. Just kidding.
You said that.
I know.
Said it. Now it's out in the open.
Now everyone knows.
Now everyone knows.
Okay, great. Another great thing about living in San Diego, we're so close to so many different things here. It's like we live in almost like a vacation town.
It is a vacation town. It's not almost like a vacation town.
It is vacation. We're on vacation all the time. There's lots of great hotels you can go to here. You're really close to Disneyland's about an hour, 20 minutes away or so. LA is not far. You go skiing 2 hours away.
Right.
There's just a lot of things you can do very close to San Diego.
So staycations. A lot of great places nearby for staycations, which, as you know, are really great when you have kids.
Right.
Just get out of your house and just
get out of your house,
but you don't want to go too far.
Right.
So we are definitely near a lot of really fun staycation locations. Another reason why a lot of people move here to the San Diego area is because our schools are so great. Private schools and public schools. So our public schools are pretty well funded. We have something called the Mello-Roos tax.
And if you're not familiar with the Mello-Roos tax,
Bern, tell you about it.
It's kind of goes onto your property taxes here in San Diego. And a lot of those funds go towards schools, streets, parks, that sort of thing. We have all the hiking trails and stuff over here too. And it usually runs anywhere from like 15 to 40 years, and then eventually it goes away. But that's one of the big reasons why our schools are so good here, because they are pretty well funded. and it gives all your kids a very good education here in San Diego. The cost of nannies start around $15 an hour. It goes up to about $20, $25 an hour depending on experience and how many kids you have. If you have 10 kids, it's probably going to cost you a little bit more. The cost of daycares usually run anywhere between $1,000 to $1,800 per month. But once you get to the public school ages, once you get to public school age, like kindergarten, that also becomes free along the way.
And you know what, another question that people ask sometimes is how academically rigorous is it here and how academically competitive is it? And I would say that the schools, I have a middle school aged child.
Right.
I have a middle-aged
child. A 12-year-old kid?
I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. Right. They do put a lot of emphasis on academics, but I don't feel that it's overly competitive. It would never make me want to leave one school and go to another school. I think the teachers do a great job. I think the schools are really inclusive, you know, for the most part, and I think that's important.
Another good thing is that we have a lot of great state schools here in California, not just in San Diego, but up in LA and San Francisco. So that once you're in the California school system, it's a lot easier to get into the California schools.
The state schools.
The state schools, for sure.
You mean higher education?
Higher education, like college.
Ah.
Yes, higher, which our kids are still a little ways away from, but eventually we'll be in that ballpark, I'm sure. So
we could be there. Something I think a lot about is how to feed a family with kids. So obviously, if you've got 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids, the larger your family is, the more it costs to feed a family. I would say that the cost of groceries is not way more expensive than it is than the national average. I still buy lots of fresh produce and fresh fruits, and I think we have access to really good quality. I mean, a lot of the produce that we all eat all across the United States is grown here in California. I mean, Sacramento.
Never been.
Huge producer of fruits, vegetables, rice. Did you know that?
Avocados here.
Avocados, right. So
delicious.
While it does still cost a little bit more than the national average, it is possible to feed your family really healthy, good stuff with what they have in the grocery stores here. Yeah.
Another great thing about raising kids here in San Diego, they're exposed to a lot of different cultures here in San Diego. So there's people from all across the world that live here in San Diego and California in general. So it's, you know, there's not just one ethnicity or race or whatever it is here in San Diego. You got a wide range of people, and they get to be shown all different cultures here. So I think it's a really good way to have a very culturally diverse. There we go. Got it.
Not just like internationally, you know, not just lots of different countries represented, but we've got lots of different states represented here because we are such a big military town.
Right.
I would say you get people from all over the United States moving here.
Yeah, a little bit of a melting pot here in San Diego.
There are a lot of
We're transplants here to San Diego. We're born and raised here. So, and some of my favorite neighborhoods, obviously people can live anywhere they want in San Diego. There's families in every single area of here. So we're not saying one's better than the other, but I think if it was just me personally, obviously we like the North County neighborhoods just because they're family friendly. They've got great parks and outdoor activities, great schools. The beaches are great. But areas that, like the best beach communities that probably for families I would say are like Solana Beach, Encinitas, La Jolla if you can afford it. Coronado is a great place. They got good schools.
Oceanside, Carlsbad.
Yeah, San Marcos, La Mesa.
You're just naming all the communities.
I'm going to name every single town.
Those aren't even the beach communities anymore. You're going inland,
I'm going all over the place.
Yeah.
My point is there's a lot of great places here to live in San Diego, but those are kind of our favorite ones, and if you ever have questions about them, we'd be happy to answer them for you. So
I will say overall, in conclusion, I've had a really good experience raising my kids here so far. We've been here for 7 years, and I have to say the quality of life is great. I'm happy having my kids here. I try to remind them as often as I can how lucky they are to live here, because every day I say, thank your lucky stars you're here, because I mean, this is just a wonderful place to live, and I hope they do that.
And one of the big reasons I moved, I used to live in LA for almost 10 years, and I just didn't want to raise, no offense to Los Angeles, that was a great place to live, but I thought this was just gonna be a much better quality of life for my kids to grow up, and I don't regret it for a second moving down here. So if you guys ever plan on moving to San Diego, we'd love to help you find your next home, and if this is your first time to our channel, please subscribe to our channel as we post videos almost every week. Thanks for watching. I know. The school just started. It's been a very busy time. So I will try to get some more videos out soon.
Yeah.
But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we'll be happy to answer them for you. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.